Hello, I hope you're having a great day today. I wanted to knock out my sequel, another Clark Ashton Smith short story, which I knocked out on eldritchdark.com for you folks. And this was a sci-fi one. It's pretty fast, loved it lots. It's called The Dart of Rasasfa. When I saw that, I just finished watching some Doctor Who stuff for the serials and so forth, and it looked to me like the Dart of Rasasfa when I was clicking it on and so forth. RSSA. He's a key guy. A lot of things in Sash of Rassilon, the Crown of Rassilon, all sorts of things, or the Gauntlet of Rassilon. He was a key character, and so forth. So I saw it, and what was showing up on my phone is the Dart of RAS. I was thinking Rassilon is starting that, and so forth. But it's actually Rasasfa. For you folks, I read it yesterday, about a half an hour. It was very, very fast to read, and so forth. This is a science fiction one. Clark Ashton Smith known heavily. He wrote the pulp-era. He wrote a lot of science, a lot of prose poems, and he also wrote a lot of poems too. He was heavily read then, one of the big three in the era for the Weird Tales comic book. H.P. Lovecraft was the sort of creator and populator of a subgenre of horror that we would call cosmic horror today. And Robert E. Howard, another one of their friends, and of the three big ones, he was the creator of Conan, and he also created sort of the sorcery genre subgenres too. So both of those popularized huge subgenres in their fields, and thus are known today. Unfortunately, Clark Ashton is a little less well known, and so forth. Even though he wrote some very, very strong stuff, has a very unique writing style, which sometimes will take some getting used to, and that sort of a thing. But the idea here is a sci-fi one. This is John Montos and his wife Mildred have arrived at a planet called Balaran, kind of like Jace Balaran, if you're familiar with Magic Together, and so forth. And it's and they have just had they're passing a planet. They're on a planetary journey and so forth in the future, and their ship will crash land. Get out and inspect it, find out that there's a part that has been broken, and they didn't pack any replacement parts for anything. So they're going to have to repair it on planet. It's some high-profile stuff with some high-level stuff. So they go out and start investigating. What will they find on this planet, and so forth, and what are they going to find on this planet, and who are they going to run into, and who is the Dart or Safa? What is his dart? All right, that's all things you'll find out here. Again, won't take up much of your time. It didn't take me half an hour for me to read it yesterday for the first time, like 20 minutes, and so forth. It's very, very fast, and it won't take that much of your time. For you folks, I did like it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought the nice little sci-fi chase from somebody who's most well known for his fantasy stuff, like Sothic or Abernois, which are very heavily influential on early Dungeons and Dragons and the era too, and then like Castle Amber and stuff like that too, or the Seven Gaseouses, which is very, very popular. Love it lots, and heavily influential too. Or you can check out things like his horror. In the science fiction, in the horror genres, like the things that he wrote in the Cthulhu Mythos and so forth. But I think the sci-fi one, which does, and I'll be honest with you, it doesn't have huge levels. I mean, it's not science fiction stuff. It's more like the science fiction of 100 years ago, right? It's sort of planet in some places, right? It's got some sci-fi places. It also, I would argue, has some horror aspects too. So it sort of combines all three very nicely in a very fast little thing. I think it's great. I think the ending's fun too. Love it lots and such. So I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. For you folks, it's a nice little diversion, The Dart of Rasasfa for you folks, from Clark Ashton Smith, and it's great stuff. I love it lots for you folks. So you can check it out online. I'll link it to you to the Eldritch Dark, which has publications of all of Clark Ashton Smith's things for you folks. Now this was his last story. It was completed in June '61 for you folks. Well, after the pulp-era, about 3 weeks before his death, and so forth. So this is a later short story by him, and so forth. So if you're interested in checking it out, I think The Dart of Rasasfa, 7. Check it out. I think you'll enjoy it too. It sort of combines the genres that our channel cares about and such, and I think it's pretty good stuff. And he also is heavily influential then, heavily influential now. So I like unpacking some of those things because I think he's in some ways a forgotten author today, and that sort of a thing. I just don't think he's been published and so forth. And he didn't publish big names like like Conan or Cult of the Conqueror. He didn't publish big characters and worlds and so forth, like Cthulhu or and that sort of a thing. So I think that he's sometimes forgotten, but he shouldn't be. He's just as strong as the other ones and has some better writing in some very strong ways in its prose poem and stuff like that. All right, so there you are. That is the Dart of Rasasfa for you folks. There's your spaceship breaks in flight and has to crash and land on a planet, that sort of thing. So there you are. Have you read this? And if so, what did you think about it? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And if you agree or disagree with my 7 out of 10, let me know those too. Again, try to keep it spoiler free. Just like I did. For folks that might not have heard of it before, heard of Clark Ashton Smith before, we want to keep it new for them just like it was new for us, right? I want to keep that up for them and that sort of thing. So that is the Dart of Rasasfa for you folks with a 7 out of 10. All right, so if you like that, why not hit the like button and then the subscribe button. I have 3 of these videos a week for you folks where I like to go back and check out a lot of these older things from in the 3 genres that he wrote that I care about. Cover 2 for those channels and that sort of thing, and so definitely check that out. I think you'll enjoy that too. I also you hit the bell icon to be notified of my 7 videos that are published a week for video games, all older things like this too. That's because that's the passion of this channel, which also comes from the name too, which is the worst thing about new books, to quote by a French philosopher Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones, right? It's definitely smaller stuff that's heavily influential, but we might have forgotten about. Heavy classics and that sort of thing. So there you are. And I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching my videos, right? Because we all have so many things that are happening, right, in our lives. And we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling. So I appreciate it again. Thanks so much for your time and have an amazing day.